You don't need to go to Niagara Falls when you can eat some Brian balls.
What's going on, NASCAR Diecast collectors and Diecast viewers on YouTube? This is Original Bri here, and welcome back to part 2 of the NASCAR Diecast news, hosted by me, Brian LaFleur Jr. As always, guys, I'm bringing you all your bi-weekly NASCAR Diecast news throughout each and every other week until the very end of the 2017 NASCAR Diecast season. Oh my god, guys, this might be the penultimate episode for Season 7 of NASCAR Diecast news because the 2017 Diecast season is literally almost to a wrap. We probably are going to have one more episode after this and then get to the NASCAR Diecast news finale, which is all the 2017 Diecast release, which I know you guys always look forward to. It's a cool slideshow that wraps up this whole season. We get to take a look at all the Diecasts that were released in numerical order. But, however, though, this is the NASCAR Diecast news, so we do got some pretty cool new releases from our good friends at Plan B Sales, Casey Diecast, and my favorite, Lester's Diecast. And we also got a cool look at 124 as well to be talking about. We got lots of pre-orders to be talking about, including all the pre-orders that were during Homestead. This is why this is part 2, because we're taking a look at all of your championship winners and winners as well. Yeah, it's a win-win for everybody. We got some more cancellations for you guys, and we also do got some more NASCAR Authentics news for Wave 88. It's a Dale Jr. exclusive wave, and it is another exclusive wave, so this should be good. And this episode is also going to be a Matt Kenseth and Dale Jr. tribute, and towards the end I will be doing a little tribute and my final thoughts about these two drivers that have said farewell into their NASCAR career. But we are going to get to all this later information and more as a NASCAR Diecast news starts right now. But before we do that, guys, we're going to take a look at the last episode, which is part 1 of the NASCAR Diecast news, rounding off with its best-selling diecast and its least-selling diecast from NASCAR Diecast News 185. Alright, everybody, welcome to the NASCAR Diecast News. I'm your host, Brian LaFleur Jr., and we're going to start things off, like always, with your newly released diecast from our good friends at Plan B Sales, K-State Diecast, and Lester's Diecast. And we're going to get right to the 164s, and we got like 14 new 164s to be showing you guys for this episode of the NASCAR Diecast News 186 Part 2 video. So, yeah, it's really cool. We're going to get things started with a classic car, and it is Jeff Gordon's 1997, the classic number 24 DuPont Monte Carlo. So really cool looking car that we got right here for any hardcore Jeff Gordon fans. Matt Jericho, I know you're watching this. you know, subscribe to him. He is an awesome friend and a hardcore Jeff Gordon / Chase Elliott fan as well. So, and soon to be William Byron fan as well. I guess you could say he's just a 24 fan. I'm just busting you right there, Matt. But yeah, back to this car. If you're a hardcore Jeff Gordon fan, absolutely would recommend getting this car. Lionel did a really good job not only releasing this car in the 164 but also the 124 scale. Very surprising that they were able to make this for this year, but pretty cool looking car for Jeff Gordon's 20th career win. So if you guys want more information about this car, then feel free, you know, to watch the race. I'm sure it's on YouTube, but quite an exciting race and definitely brings back some memories, that's for certain. But really cool looking car. I would recommend picking this up. Like I said, if you are an all-time Jeff Gordon fan, definitely cannot stress this enough. This is a cool looking car. And now we're going to get on to the year 2017 diecast, which that's what we have right here. And first one up is a first time winner for the Cup Series, and it is none other than Austin Dillon and his number 3 Dow Salutes Coca-Cola 600 race version 164. So really cool looking car this is. I guess you could say this is a special version of his Dow Salutes scheme, or Dow Patriotic car, we want to call it. But probably have to say it's my favorite that he's ever had for the Salutes car, because well, not only you got that faded American flag that's in the background of this car, which looks, you know, pretty nice. You guys know I'm a big fan of the patriotic colors, and this one definitely is a unique. It's definitely unique, I could say that at least. But yeah, any Austin Dillon fans out there, I would recommend getting this car, especially since this is his first win in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series and the Cup Series in general. So yeah, I mean, I would recommend getting this car. Plus, it's also a race version as well. I mean, you can't go wrong with race version 164s. I mean, Lionel, you know, as much as we criticize them a lot, they did a really good job, you know, putting this diecast up to life, and surprisingly actually got made, so really cool. I also like the confetti that's on the back of this deck lid as well, really nice. Next one up is a car surprisingly I thought was not canceled, but it is the final Mountain Dew car that we got for this year for Casey Kane, which will probably be his only Mountain Dew car that we will have, since you guys know he is going to be, not only the 5 car will be leaving, but also Casey Kane will be leaving Henry Motorsports as well. So, probably can't stress enough to probably get this car. Is this my favorite Mountain Dew paint scheme? You know, I had to say it's probably my least favorite, but, because I don't know, I kind of like Dale Jr.'s a little bit more, or maybe Chase Elliott's. I think Chase Elliott's probably my favorite, because I do like the black that goes well with that. Junior's is a close second. This one, you know, it's definitely different. We haven't really seen a white we haven't seen white on a Mountain Dew car in like forever. I mean, it kind of reminds me of the Diet Dew scheme that he used to, that Dale Jr. used to drove just a little bit. Not really, but I could definitely see it in the paint scheme. But definitely unique. He ran this car, I believe, at the All-Star race, if I'm not mistaken, so along with Chase Elliott, so I guess they were kind of twinsies on this paint scheme. But yeah, really cool looking car. I would recommend getting this, but definitely I would recommend it if you have all the other Mountain Dew cars. So yeah, not a bad buy. Next one up is a Darlington throwback car, and it's for the Xfinity Series, and it's none other than your 2017 Xfinity Series Championship and the new driver of the 24 for next year in the Cup Series, William Byron, and his number 9 Liberty University Chevrolet Camaro. And this is painted tribute throwback to Rick Hendrick's son, Ricky Hendrick. And I guess you could say this is also a Brian Vickers throwback as well, because Vickers did drove this paint scheme as well. But this is mostly a paint scheme dedicated to Ricky Hendrick, so really cool. I mean, I do remember this car running in the what was known as the Busch Series. So yeah, they did a really great job of incorporating this paint scheme and making it come back to life. And I'm sure you know, Mr. Hendrick was very proud seeing this paint scheme back on track. But since it reminds him of his former son. But yeah, guys, just what a cool looking tribute. You cannot stress that enough. I mean, if you're a NASCAR fan, you automatically know what this paint scheme is, and just who can pull it off more than William Byron, man. Really cool looking paint scheme. Man, just that's all I got to say right there. This is a really, really nice one. The next two are probably not going to be my favorites, and it is Denny Hamlin diecast, guys. You guys know in the last episode of the NASCAR Diecast News, I talked about the FedEx Ground car. Well, the FedEx Fright and the FedEx Office cars. Probably not going to show. I'm probably going to only show one of them on this little picture. But yeah, guys, not too much of a difference. As you can see right there, it's basically the same paint scheme as the Express and the Ground scheme. Just the only difference is where it says Fright and Office. That's the only difference, guys. I did talk about this on the last episode of the NASCAR Diecast News, which is part 1. I wish they go back to the original paint schemes. You know, there's not enough variation, and God, if they continue to do this, these cars will get canceled, because already a lot of people hate Denny Hamlin after what happened. But yeah, guys, just these are just, I guess you could say, if you don't have the express car, maybe get this, but I do not recommend buying both, because not too much of a difference, and I think you guys just wasting money. Unless you're a Hamlin fan, then I guess you can get it, but like I said, it's going to be a waste of space, in my opinion, because this car is going to look exactly the same as the next year's. That's for starting. Next one up, we got another Darn throwback car, and it is Clint Bowyer's number 14 Carolina Ford Dealers Darlington throwback. So really cool looking paint scheme that we got going on right here. I was aware that this paint scheme is actually, I did talk about this car in the last episode of the NASCAR Diecast News, like I usually say a lot. I should probably have a counter every time I say what's on the last episode of the NASCAR Diecast News. Well, you guys know I love providing you guys some entertainment, so that's your little form of entertainment right there on this episode, as I almost said that again right there. But back to this paint scheme, guys. Really cool. It's a Mark Martin tribute paint scheme. And, you know, that's much more I gotta say about that. You know, I wouldn't say it's, you know, a very, you know, oh my god, this is a really cool throwback. It's like, yeah, you know what, this is a cool throwback. I'm glad it's actually a Storehouse Racing car that's not on the PTC car, that's not on the PTC mold for once. So, that's a good relief right there. I had a weird and strange feeling that this car was gonna be on the PTC mold. But glad Lionel went back and, you know, finally put their foot down and said, hey, we're putting all these Storehouse Racing cars back on the Yale mold. That, or it's just a weird coincidence, but still a pretty cool looking car if you're a Mark Martin or a Clint Bowyer fan. Next up, we got Daniel Schwartz's number 18 Juniper Networks car. This car is very, very similar to last year's paint scheme, to last year's Xfinity car. Only difference is that the number has changed. He is in the 18 car for this year, and last year he drove the 19, so that's the only difference right there. But if you're a Schwartz fan, I'd probably say you guys can get it, but there's not really much of other difference I can really say or put that on my mind. But still decent looking paint scheme. I would like to see this paint scheme run in the Cup Series eventually, because it looks like Juniper has been around with Suarez and they feel like a loyal sponsor. So who knows, maybe we'll see this car in the Cup Series very soon for Daniel Suarez. We also got another number 18 car. We got the Skittles car has made a return. It is in some new colors for this year. We got the red, white, and blue patriotic variant paint scheme for Skittles car. So really nice looking touch right there. I know they've used the Skittles scheme for, you know, quite a while with the basic red, but I'm glad they finally mixed it up for this year, guys. I really like the patriotic design on this car. It really just, I don't know, like I just mentioned, gives it some variation. You know, the top does look a little funky, but it's kind of grown on to me. Some people might, I don't know, it kind of looks like those American stripes kind of remind me of the Dale Jr. Napa, not Napa, I'm getting my ends mixed up, the Nationwide patriotic car that we've had for this year. That kind of reminds me of that a little bit with those stripes that's on the side. Yeah, great comparison right there. But yeah, I mean, other than that, guys, I mean, it's a pretty cool looking car. I would recommend getting it. It is something different if you guys, you know, like Kyle Busch and Skittles. I mean, the candy in general. God, it is, I guess you could say this is quite the sweet car. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and move on and get rid of those horrific puns. Next one up, we got Ryan Blaney's number 21 Ford Motorcraft Pocono Race win. This is another raced version 164 and also is another first time winner for this year. You guys know Ryan Blaney. He is going to be even more to talk about next year since he's going with Team Penske and being able to pull off his first win for this season, beating Kevin Harvick at Pocono. Man, that was definitely entertaining, and I was rooting my butt off, you know, for Ryan Blaney, because you know, I wouldn't mind if Harvick won, but I'm a sucker for first-time winners. I'm glad Lionel decided to make this car in both scales. What a great addition. This raced version car looks amazing, and especially since it's white and red, all the marks and the dirt and the confetti really picks up nice, especially with 164 guys. You know, gotta give Lionel some credit. They did a good job in their attention to detail on this car. It looks very superb, so nice job, Lionel. Really, really good. And we got 4 more cars to be talking about, guys, and we got some underfunded cars for this episode, guys. We got Gray Galding and his number 23 Bubba Burger Salutes car. So It's definitely a lot more different than the Corey LaJoie Bubba Burger car that I talked about on last episode. But with all the flames and all that, how I said it looked like a BK paint scheme. But this one really is definitely different. They've had the Salutes paint scheme for quite a while, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm really surprised this car did not get canceled. But I do like the it looks like what, like camouflage on this car, so it does look a little different. I mean, I'll give them props for, you know, trying something a little different. But yeah, you know, I mean, even though Greg Aldney doesn't drive the 23 car anymore, would I recommend getting this car? You know, if you're disappointed with the Sweet Frog car, which was on the PTC mold, and all the other stuff that happened with the Greg Golding cars, then maybe I would recommend getting this, especially if you want to collect all the you know, the patriotic American Salute paint schemes. Then this would be a nice collection right there, especially if you're looking for unrefunded cars. So yeah, I guess I would recommend buying this. These next two, I strongly encourage you guys to buy these, because these cars are selling out like crazy, and a lot of people didn't know that these cars were going to be made. But guys, we finally got some Cody Ware diecast. Yeah, Cody Ware, who would have known we would have had a diecast for him? But yeah, guys, we got his Clemson University car, that nice orange and purple, definitely looks really nice. But yeah, really cool looking car in my opinion. I mean, if you're, we got another college-based paint scheme going on right here. I know we've had that a few times with Jeff Gordon, and I'm trying to name some others. But yeah, I know Henry Motorsports used to do this a lot, but I'm glad to see unrefunded teams doing this, and yeah, looking pretty cool as well. But and plus it's an orange paint scheme, guys. So I mean, besides Daniel Suarez, if you're looking for any more orange cars with that in mind, guys, I would recommend getting that car. But this other one looks really nice, and the purple turned out amazing on this car. Very bright as well. We got Cody Ware's number 51 East Carolina Pirates car, guys. So yeah, don't you feel like a pirate now? Arg. But it's got gold rims, guys, and the purple and the yellow on this really pops. I think this one, I think, is going to sell a little bit more, if I'm not mistaken by myself. This one, I would recommend getting. This car just, I mean, it's a beautiful looking car, guys. I will admit that. For an underfunded car and for an underfunded driver, this car, I really strongly recommend getting. Just something a little different if you want for your diecast collection, guys. And last but not least, guys, we got to talk about the man of the hour, which will be talking about him and another driver for this tribute video. It is the one and only Dale Earnhardt Jr. in his number 88 Exalta Last Ride car. You guys know what this paint scheme is. If you guys don't know, then you're probably living under a rock, or you just started watching NASCAR. But that does, you know, just sound like a bummer. But man, this paint scheme what should have been his Dawn's Throwback ride, but which a lot of people were disappointed about this. But this car is really cool right here. They're also going to have this car in NASCAR Authentics form in 2 waves in wave 10, which I'll be talking about on the next episode of NASCAR Diecast News. So I won't forget about that, guys, but that'll be for next time, guys. But and it's also going to be on the Wave 88 review, which I'll be talking about later in this episode for NASCAR Diecast News. But yeah, this paint scheme is representing Dale Jr.'s 2000 rookie year, that mostly from his 1999 to his 2000 season. I know he ran full time in 2000, so that's a good, you know, fact or assumption right there. But I can't really explain this paint scheme, because you guys know this paint scheme really rocks. I mean, I'm really surprised I got away, you know, getting this paint scheme almost exactly. I guess you would say probably exactly, but I don't want to get sued by Teresa Earnhardt, guys. But that's all I got to say about this car, guys. A really cool looking car. Probably is going to be the best selling diecast for this year, in my opinion, once I upload the top 10 NASCAR diecast of 2017. This car probably might be number 1, because you guys know why. You guys know. I don't have to explain it. But now we're going to talk about the 124s, guys, and then we're going to get on to the next topic. But we're going to be looking at a 124, and it's going to be Mark Truex Jr.'s 2017 Bass Pro Shops Las Vegas race win car. And I do have this car with me as well. And what can I say, guys? For your championship winner and your champion as well for 2017, this is a great way to start off the race wins that we got for Mark Truex Jr. Definitely was worth the wait. Lionel did an amazing job with this car, and I'm not just saying that because I'm biased and I'm a Mark Truex Jr. fan. They did a really cool job. This car has a lot of cool confetti on it. It's from Las Vegas. As you guys know, that was a pretty exciting race when it came down to Brad Keselowski and Mark Truex Jr. Something went wrong with Keselowski and it caused him to fall back, and then we had that little fight with Joey Logano and Kyle Busch. Just overall, a really exciting race, and it was a great way to start off what is a a championship run for Mark Truex Jr. 8 wins, and this was one of them. And what great way to start off with this Bass Pro Shops car, guys. I will be talking about more on this car, but it's got the shredded tires on the back, and then it's got the molded out damage on the corner panel on the passenger side, so it just looks freaking flat out amazing. This is something I really like when Lionel does this stuff. I know we criticize them a lot, but they did a great job with this race win car, and I'm very impressed. So, great job, Lionel. Hoping we're going to see more diecasts like this in the future. But that's all I got to say about all the diecasts that have been released for this episode, folks. Alright, buddy, we're getting on to our pre-orders now, and it's going to be all and everything that is Homestead related, guys. We got a lot of cool championship diecasts to be talking about, and what's going to be coming up, as most of these cars will probably be available during April or May of next year. So, but we're going to start things off with the Camping World Truck Series, as it just wrapped up its season, and we're heading to the off season now, guys. But we got a first-time winner who won at Homestead Miami, and it was none other than Chase Briscoe, and what is going to be possibly and definitely Brad Keselowski Racing's last official win in the Camping World Truck Series. As you guys know, that team has now officially shut down at the end of this year. Very unfortunate, but probably looks I know Chase Briscoe so far does not have a ride so far, but his teammate Austin Cindric does for Roush Renner Racing in the number 60 car for next year in the Xfinity Series. But back to Chase Briscoe, guys. He has also won your most popular driver in the Camping World Truck Series as well. And cool to see Lionel is going to be offering this truck, and only in the 124 scale, because you guys know they can't make 164 scale diecast. But really cool. Hoping this car will make it into the pre-order list, and hopefully it won't get canceled. But pretty cool right there to see another first-time winner in the Camping World Truck Series. And speaking of Camping World Truck Series, guys, who would have thought would have been your champion is none other than this kid right here, Christopher Bell, and his number 4 JPL.com car. Lionel or any of your local diecast dealers are probably now have this truck up for pre-order, guys. Only in the 124 scale as well, because I just mentioned about what the truck diecast going to be made in that specific scale. But what can we say about Christopher Bell, guys? 5 wins in the Camping World Truck Series, completely just crushed the competition for this year, guys. He was my prediction, and he did end up winning the Truck Series Championship. Very well deserved, and we're looking forward to see him in the Xfinity Series for next year, driving for Joe Gibbs Racing. So I think this kid has a bright future ahead of him. We'll probably see him in the Cup Series very soon if he continues at this rate, guys. Go follow the footsteps of all these other young drivers like William Byron, Kyle Larson, and Chase Elliott's just rising up to the ranks very quickly. Keep an eye on this kid, guys. He's definitely looking like a bright futures ahead of him. And now we're going to the Xfinity Series, guys. We're going to be looking at another first-time winner, guys, in the Xfinity Series, and it is none other than good old Coleslaw, or good old Cole Custer and his number 00 Haas automation car. He ended up just flat out just dominating this race. I mean, I know we were all mostly paying attention, and mostly NBC was paying attention to the Championship 4, which was Elliott Sandler, William Byron, Daniel Hemrick, and Justin Allgaier. But you guys know who won the championship, which we'll be talking about him next. But pretty cool looking car. Hoping this car will make it into the pre-order list as well. It's about time to finally see Cole Custer in victory lane, and I feel like he's definitely starting to get his feet wet now. After dominating this Homestead race, I think we're going to see a lot more wins for him very soon. So Cole Custer looks like he's might be a threat for 2018, guys, because he finally found some momentum, and he's been slowly getting that momentum, but it finally paid off at the finale race. And now we're going to talk about your Xfinity Series champion, guys, William Byron in his number 9 Liberty University car. This car is going to be offered in 2 different versions. It's going to be in the regular championship scale, which will have the championship decal right on top of the car, replacing the number, which you guys know I despise that, but that's how Lionel does their championship diecast, and that's what the team wants as well. So can't really blame Lionel. That's what the team wants. That's what good old Henry Motorsports, not Henry Motorsports, Junior Motorsports wants. He is driving for Henry Motorsports though for next year, guys. But pretty cool looking car. But I think the better version, guys, will be his raced version, guys. They are making a raced version championship car as well. in both scales. So we're getting yet another race version for William Byron. It's really cool because he did tour this car pretty well, guys. So I'm glad to see that Lionel took action and decided to do that. I didn't think they were going to offer this, but really cool that they are, guys. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing this car. Probably is going to be my favorite Byron race version because of how he tore up. I mean, you guys can see in this picture just how cool and raced up and how tore up this car is, guys, because he definitely it looks like he hit the wall a couple times, but still, I mean, just wow, what a cool looking car, guys. But looking forward to see this kid in the 24 car next year. Hopefully he's gonna do good and probably bring the 24 car back to victory lane. But now we're getting on to the Cup Series, guys, and we got 4 Cup diecasts we talk about that all ran at Homestead. These 2 right here I'm about to show you are probably going to be the main topic of this video because we are going to be talking about you guys know we're going to be talking about Dale Jr., but we're also going to be talking about Matt Kenseth and his DeWalt last ride car. This is going to be a race version exclusive as well, and it's going to be made in both scales if you guys pre-order this, guys. So really cool. Very smart decision for Lionel because you know, if they made this, I would have been all right if they were going to make this car not race version. But see that they are doing that really just shows you that they really thought this one out, guys. Very smart move from Lionel. Looking forward to see this car. As you guys know, this is representing his 2000 paint scheme. So just yeah, really cool looking car. And the other car I'm about to show you guys know what it is. It's Dale Jr.'s Exalted Last Ride car, but it is going to be in a raced version. We kind of saw this one coming, guys, and I think this is bringing it back. You know, that this is kind of the same thing they did with 2015, guys, with Jeff Gordon and the Homestead Last Ride car, guys. But luckily, the race version was a lot more accurate, so I think, well, you know, either way, guys, I think both versions for this year are going to be cool. But I probably recommend getting the race version, guys, like I did for 2015 with Jeff Gordon, just because, you know, that is technically accurate, and it's the only time he ran that paint scheme. So I think the race version, definitely something to buy, but you got to pre-order those guys. And now we're going to be talking about your 2017 Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series champion. You guys know who he is, and we all knew it was going to happen. Scoring 8 wins this season, and also winning at the Homestead race, we got Martin Truex Jr. And first one up, guys, we got his Bass Pro Shops Homestead race version, guys. His 8th win this season. Absolutely incredible. We haven't seen a driver win that many races in God knows how long. I think the last time, if I'm not mistaken, was probably, ironically, Carl Edwards from 2008, which he won 9 races. But Truex was close, but, you know, what a well-deserved win for Martin Truex Jr. You know, he fought hard, and, you know, he played off in the end, and I guess you could say this was a very well-deserved championship. I mean, that we've had in a while, guys. So, you know, if he's had such a consistent season, and glad to see he got this. But this car looks really cool, and it's also gonna be made in both scales, guys. I know on the diecast sheet that says right here it's only 1/24 scale, but there is an error on that, so it is going to be made in both scales. And if you guys don't believe me, then go on the LionelRacing.com website and look it up. It's right there. But hopefully it won't be canceled, but I highly doubt it, because usually the Lionel makes not only the championship car with the championship logo, which is the next car I'm talking about, his Furniture Row Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series champion car. You know, call me a hypocrite, I do not like the championship diecast. But since Martin Truex Jr. is my favorite driver, I'm probably going to get it because, you know, I don't have a champion diecast in my collection yet. So, yeah, I know. I'm already hearing the comments. Oh, you're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite. But I guess I am, guys. Because Martin Truex, I mean, I was happy that Martin Truex Jr. won the championship. You guys know me, and I'm sure all Truex fans out here, comment below, you know, how excited you were when you won this championship. Very well deserved, but I'm not going to get too more biased right here. But all I can say is, if you're a Truex fan, I recommend getting this. If you're not, then this car, I would recommend passing up. But like I said, the race version is a lot more of a better deal, and, you know, you're going to get a lot more out of it, guys. But now we're going to get on to the cancellations, guys, and we got 3 new cancellations to be talking about, and these are the cars that made the chopping block, and 2 of them are 2017s, and we got another 2018 car, guys. And no, it's not a Denny Hamlin car, so, but, starting off with the 2017 diecast, guys, both of them are Xfinity cars, so there you guys go right there. More Xfinity cars. Who would have thought? And even worse, it's also in 1/64 scale only for both these cars. But first one up is Cole Custer's 2017 00 Haas Automation Johnson throwback car. Yeah, this car I had a feeling was going to get canceled. You know, we've had all Cole Custer cars getting canceled for this year, with his Code 3 car and his Haas car, with the exception of getting that car released and one of the NASCAR Authentics waves for this year. But yeah, the diecast haven't been selling too well for Cole Custer, so I totally understand. Even this car was a cool looking throwback. I can't remember what the throwback was this car, but I believe that it's someone, you know, pretty important. Feel free to comment below if you guys know, because I apparently have dementia and I do not know who the throwback is to, but that's what Google's for. But yeah, I guess I can say I'm disappointed, but am I surprised? Not really. This one I'm a little surprised though, guys. We got William Byron in his number 9 Vinoy construction car, only canceled in 1/64 scale. So you're still gonna get the 124, guys, including the Cole Custer car as well. That's gonna be in the 124 scale as well, but not for 1/64, guys. Very ironic. I guess this car just the only thing I probably just don't see maybe this car didn't got made is because we haven't seen William Byron drive this car a lot, and he didn't really drive this paint scheme into victory lane that often, unlike his Exalta and Liberty University car. But I don't know, guys. I would think every William Byron car would be made, but I guess not, and the fans have spoken. But I guess this car was just underrated, if I had to say so myself. But not really a big loss right there. We got a lot of Byron diecast for this year, so, but this one was just definitely had some variety to it. You know, very basic paint scheme, but would have been cool to be added to the Byron collection. Maybe we'll get it for next year. And the last one, guys, it's a 2018 diecast, and it is Joey Logano's number 22 AAA insurance car. This car only canceled in the 124 Elite scale, guys, so you will be losing detail, but the 124 ARC version is still available for pre-order, and 164 is available as well, guys. But that's all I got to say about the cancellations and the pre-orders as well, guys. All right, buddy, we're going to get into some NASCAR Authentics news, some very brief NASCAR Authentics news, because we're going to be doing a tribute to Matt Kenseth and Dale Jr., but we're going to start the NASCAR Authentics wave, guys, and it's going to be yet another exclusive wave. Oh boy, this should be interesting. But this one is actually be really cool because it is a good tribute, guys. It is going to be Wave 88, and you're probably wondering, oh my god, where are we up to that many waves? No, guys, no. That'd be a good April Fool's Day prank, by the way, guys. So, you know, I know. I mean, I'm watching you guys if you are going to, you know, pull that crap. But Wave 88 is actually going to be a Walmart exclusive wave, and it's going to be a full wave of Dale Earnhardt Jr. diecast. So Lionel's probably already, you know, thinking, oh, this is a smart idea. We're going to be, you know, richer than, you know, a freaking rich man. If that, you know, was even a good analogy right there. But we got a lot of cool, a variety of Dale Jr. diecast that we've got. We got one 2014, we got one car from 2015, and then the other 6 are from this year, so no surprise right there. But the first one up, guys, we got Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s 2014 Daytona 500 win, guys, and you guys are probably wondering why they brought this car back. Well, you guys know 2014 was the year that was probably one of the worst years for Lionel Racing, because that was the introduction of the WLS mold, which was way worse. I mean, way worse than the PTC mold. Like, the decal was downright horrible. I'm trying to forget that that year ever happened with the diecast, but it did, sadly. I mean, I know this year has been, you know, not the best with diecast quality, but, you know, gotta blame the factories for that. But I'm glad to see that this car is actually in the EL mold, because the original car from 2014 was on the WLS mold, and that was the reason why I didn't get this. But the only compromise I say you're losing is that none of these cars had the name banners. Not even this car or the 2015 car I'm about to show you. But if you wanted, I don't know, guys. I mean, it's kind of tough. It's like, I say I would recommend getting this because you have a correct mold. Even though, yeah, you're losing, you know, the windshield decal, but that's standard for all the NASCAR Authentics cars now. You can always just print off a little decal or a water slide decal, and then there you go, and then you get yourself an accurate diecast. I mean, not that hard. I mean, depending if you guys like custom making or not, but that's just a little, you know, tip right there. I say I would get it. I think this was a smart move that Lionel did. So I mean, even though it's kind of, you know, kind of obvious, but still pretty cool. This one, I'm very surprised this car actually made it, because this is a special finish car, guys. We got Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s 2015 Nationwide Stars and Stripes 25th career win Daytona raced version. You guys know I talked about this a couple episodes ago of the NASCAR Diecast news. This one was definitely random. I had a funny feeling that they were going to put this in this wave, and looks like Lionel is pretty predictable with the Dale Jr. Diecast. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, I would get this car, but I do not like that special logo they put on top, guys. I mean, it just looks really out of place and just does not work. But if you really want his 25th career win, guys, and you can't find, that they did release this car, this specific car that's not special finish, like what, and then the first early waves of from 2016, if I'm not mistaken. So if you're having a hard time finding this, I pass on this, because sooner or later you will find the original car, and I think the original version is a lot more better than this money grabber right here. That's mostly what I gotta say about that car. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of this one. Next one up, we got some 2017 diecast. We got Dale Jr.'s Exalted fixed auto car. That's a car he drove at Sonoma, so it's basically just like the Exalted car that we've had for this year. That was also released, I believe, in, what is it, Wave 6, if I'm not mistaken? I'm trying to remember, because all these waves are starting to add up now. I believe it's in Wave 6, I believe. Watch me get that wrong. But, yeah, I think it was Wave 6. But, yeah, very, very similar. I'm not really a big fan of that black logo on the fixed auto car. But if you fail to miss the Exalted car for this year, then I guess this would be a good substitute. Of course, this car was going to be in this wave, guys. Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s Exalted Last Ride car. Yep. I would recommend getting this car. We're probably going to see this car a lot because this is exclusive wave, and this car will also be in another wave that I'll be talking about on the next episode of the NASCAR Diecast News. But that's not a surprise right there. This car, you know, once you look at it, you're going to know I had to get this because it's a cool looking tribute car for Dale Jr. We also got an exclusive car that is actually a NASCAR Authentics exclusive, and it's actually a fantasy paint scheme. It's Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s Junior Nation Appreciation Tour car. This one's very different. I mean, if you're a Junior fan, maybe I'd recommend getting this. I mean, I don't think he ever drove this paint scheme. I guess it's like a promotional fantasy car to promote his, you know, his appreciation tour. But definitely different. I mean, at least we can say this is an exclusive wave, and we do get an exclusive car, so I'll give Lionel some props for that. I'm glad they put an exclusive car on this. So you know what? I recommend getting this car. Even though a lot of people think this car is like a filler, and it's not really, you know, kind of exclusive, but who knows? But then again, if Lionel throws a curveball and they actually release this car in the Gold Series form, then maybe this car will be useless. But for now, it is a NASCAR Authentics exclusive car, and probably I recommend getting it because of that. We also got Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s Mountain Dew paint scheme as well, so you can't go wrong with that. I mean, that nice metallic chrome finish looks really nice on this car. Definitely, you know, really brightens the car up. Recommend getting that car. These next two, I mean, we've already had these cars released. We have Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s Nationwide Insurance car. If you fail to get this car from Wave 1 and Wave 2 from this year, then probably recommend getting this car. But the next car, you know, I love this paint scheme, don't get me wrong, but once again, we have another Dale Jr. We have another attempt at the Dale Jr. Nationwide Don's Throwback car. Oh, man. You know, I'm liking this paint scheme and all, but Lionel really could have thought something a little better. I don't know what, but it could have been, I don't know, like another race version car from a couple of years ago. Why they had to bring this car back. Again, we've had this car too many times this year. The Toys R Us wave, the holiday wave from Meyer, this wave, and then it's also released in Wave 8. Just, I'm tired of seeing this car. I hate to say that, but I am. I would not recommend getting it if you guys, unless if you guys have, you know, cannot find this car for the dearest life ahead of you, and somehow you get this car and you find it at Walmart, then that's my only exception. But this car, it's... I don't know. That's all I gotta say right there on the NASCAR Authentics Wave 88, folks. Guys, overall, it's a pretty cool looking wave. But besides that Don's Throwback car and the Daytona 5 and the Daytona 25th career win, I say those two I would skip. But the rest, I think I would recommend getting for the junior fans out there. But now we're getting on to the tribute, guys, for Dale Jr. and Matt Kenseth. As you guys know, one of them is leaving NASCAR and for good, and the other one will be joining a broadcast booth. But Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Matt Kenseth, these two really have come a long way. I mean, they both started together back in the Busch Series from 1998 and 1999. Neck to neck, as you guys know, Dale Jr. won both championships, and Kenseth was, second. But it's just so ironic that these guys started together, racing together, and now they ended the racing together as well at a final race. I just find that, you know, very ironic, but still pretty kind of cool if you ask me, though. But as you guys know, and then they ran and then they both ran full time in 2000 in the Winston Cup Series until now. So, you know, they had a good 17 years of both of them in both of those series. But what was really cool about the Homestead race, I think got a lot of people emotional, is not only, you know, the tributes that we've had, but both of them ran their familiar paint schemes that they drove from the rookie year in NASCAR. And if you guys know, that year, Matt Kenseth won the Rookie of the Year. Man, just talk about memories, man. I'm going to try my best not to get emotional during this video, because I was a little bit, I mean, I'm sure everyone shed a tear when, you know, when they saw Dale Jr. and Matt Kenseth, you know, sharing their rides together. But you guys know that Matt Kenseth will be saying goodbye to NASCAR for now. Something very similar to what Carl Edwards did, and all of his other former Roush Fenway racing drivers like Greg Biffle and Mark Martin. So I just find that kind of ironic, but then again, I think he was pretty close to those guys. I mean, I guess he was good. Yeah, I guess you could say he was a really cool teammate to Joe Gibbs Racing, but I felt like him and Carl Edwards and the Biff and Mark Martin were, you know, I definitely miss those days, man. It's really sad to see, you know, the last guy who was part of the original Roush Fenway Racing group that we all grew up with. Sad to see him go. I mean, man, I'm really gonna miss seeing that DeWalt paint scheme, and it's gonna be harder watching Eric Jones driving that DeWalt car next year. I mean, some people might get used to it, but it's gonna be hard, man. I mean, especially since they're keeping the exact paint scheme that Kenseth drove for this year and carrying over to Eric Jones. But yeah. But even more depressing, guys, Dale Jr. will, well, not as depressing as Matt Kenseth, guys, but Dale Jr. will still be in NASCAR, because, I mean, this guy won, you know, the most popular driver for 15 years in a row. So Jr.'s not going anywhere, guys. So, and see right there, I got a little Skype call right there. So say hi to everybody, Rob, if you're watching this video. But, yeah, pretty cool right there, guys. We got Dale Jr. joining the NBC broadcasting booth for next year. This is a very similar to move what Jeff Gordon did, moving out and stepping away full time in racing, even though he drove a little bit last year, substitute for Dale Jr. But so it's pretty kind of cool that we got Jeff Gordon as a Fox broadcaster now, and then we got Dale Jr. joining the NBC. A lot of people got mixed feelings about that, but I think that's be pretty cool. I think Dale Jr.'s got a very enthusiastic and engaging voice that I think NBC kind of needs right now. Even though I think they kind of overhype a little bit stuff. I mean, you know, I know NBC is mostly nothing but commercials, but you gotta admit they do overhype a lot of stuff, even if it's like, you know, something, you know, completely obvious out on the track where you're just like, oh yeah, that's cool. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it though. At least we're gonna see Dale Jr. still here, guys. But yeah, guys, Matt Kenseth, the Dale Jr. guys. I mean, these two definitely, I think they're going to be in the Hall of Fame. A lot of people are definitely saying Matt Kenseth definitely deserves it. Dale Jr., maybe. I mean, he definitely has a lot of cool accomplishments. I mean, you guys know he is the son of Dale Earnhardt Sr. That's probably a lot of good reasons why a lot of people, you know, voted for him as the most popular driver for 15 years in a row now. I mean, he's also, you know, a two-time Daytona 500 champion, a back-to-back Busch Series champion, and I believe he's got like up to 50 wins in his whole NASCAR career, guys. And he's also an owner for Junior Motorsports, and the you guys know he is the owner of Junior Motorsports, and you know he's also, you know, part of Junior Nation, guys. He's the one that started it, and yeah, it's really gonna suck. I mean, I think NASCAR is gonna hit a little bit of a turn down because you guys know most of the majority fan base is Junior Nation fans, and a lot of them are still trying to figure out who their new favorite driver is. It's gonna be kind of hard, and I deeply understand that. I myself used to be a Dale Jr. fan. I mean, heck, Dale Jr. is the one that got me into NASCAR. I didn't know anything about NASCAR until what happened to Dale Earnhardt, and I started following, you know, Dale Jr. after that, because Dale Earnhardt is the one that got me into NASCAR when I heard about what happened with him. But as sad as that says, but that's my little brief history of how I got into NASCAR. So, you know, I really got to thank Dale Jr. and everybody in the Earnhardt family for getting me into this wonderful sport, and I'm glad to, you know, be a fan of the NASCAR community for many years. You know, I've had a couple seasons where I definitely wanted to turn off. 2009, I didn't even watch it, but glad. Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is, guys, it is gonna be hard not seeing Dale Jr. driving, but I feel like he will come back and he will probably drive a little bit more, kind of like what Jeff Gordon did. As for Matt Kenseth, though, guys, for being, you know, a Cup champion from 2003, another 2-time Daytona 500 champion, an IROC champion as well, and I believe he had about 68 or maybe 69 wins in his NASCAR career. Matt Kenseth, definitely, I guess you could say he was kind of underrated, but you know, he was quite the humble guy as well. I mean, he didn't really have a mean bone in his body until he pushed his buttons. And as soon as this playoff format happened, you could definitely tell, you know, Kenseth wasn't really impressed. And after what happened with him this year, you know, I guess you could say, you know, that it was a good time for him to leave. God bless him, though. I wish him the best of luck, and hopefully him and Carl Leverage, you know, can come back to the sport and hopefully go back to racing very soon. But for now, guys, this has been the NASCAR Diecast News, and this has been, you know, my farewell for Matt Kenseth, the Dale Jr. Guys, hope you guys enjoyed this little tribute. But yeah, guys, I'm going to wrap this episode right here. But feel free to comment below what is your favorite memory for Matt Kenseth and Dale Jr. and what do you guys think about this episode as well. But that's all I got to say right there, guys. This has been the NASCAR Diecast News. Feel free to comment anything below if I missed anything, and I will put on the next episode of the NASCAR Diecast News. But feel free to hit subscribe for more on my channel, guys, and like this video and do whatever you can to you know, get this tribute rolling. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. But we're gonna go ahead and sign off right here, guys. So I'm Original Big Bri, and I will catch you guys next time on the next episode of the NASCAR Diecast News.